Guys, new Star Wars trailer, Rogue One, just came out.
Yeah, I did.
Let's watch it.
State your name for the record.
Jyn Erso.
What James Bond movie are they stealing this trailer from?
All of them? Here we have another white female lead. It's great, right? Because like we don't see a lot of franchises,
It's literally the biggest film franchise in the world, and for the last one they were like, you know what? Do a protagonist, black guy, white lady.
Yeah. Most of the world was like, please, here's all of our money. So now they're doing kind of the same thing. We've got Mrs. Hawking and Diego Luna, not white dudes in charge of this franchise.
The Hispanic man does not talk at any point in the
he doesn't, but
he gives us a smoldering look.
He smolders.
We're trying to take Star Wars into the 21st century, and we're like, great, variety in our characters.
Yeah. Smoldering Latin men.
Smoldering Latin men and white ladies. We'll put in a black lady, but CGI her.
She's got to be an alien. It's baby steps. Baby steps.
I rebel.
Is she a rebel?
She rebels.
That's true.
She rebels against the rebellion. She's a super rebel.
She conjugates that verb. So we have the Death Star again, which is kind of a bummer because we just had the Death Star in The Force Awakens, which was itself just a beat-for-beat retelling of A New Hope. However you feel about that, that's what it was. Normally, that's a negative thing in reviews when the sequel does the exact same thing as a previous movie.
But we were all just so excited.
I think we were so fatigued by so much hatred for the prequels, even though, in George Lucas's defense, he tried to give us something new in each one. We just hated him for it each time.
Right.
It was like, well, here's the first episode 1. Here's some pod races. We're gonna have like this ninja dude do like lightsaber fighting, like really fast. You've never seen it before. We're like, that kid. You've ruined Star Wars.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
So the tension in this movie comes from, what is that weapon, and does it have a weakness?
They blow it up. I mean, surprise. So this is telling the story of the people who stole the plans and then got them to Leia on the blockade runner, which is where the first movie begins. So we know that all of these people either are going to die or just go on to not impact the rest of the rebellion in any meaningful way.
So a minute into the trailer, super into it. Really excited, Star Wars is happening. Then all of a sudden, what I do about this bird in my apartment? No, it's a trailer.
That's just a guy, right?
The alarm's broken. He hits the thing, it doesn't go off. He's just like, Apparently all of Star Wars is hangars and planning rooms.
And green lights.
If you continue to fight,
Forrest Whitaker needs to clear his throat.
Forrest Whitaker is intentionally, I think, invoking his character from Battlefield Earth. It shows his Forrest Whitaface, and then it cuts immediately to a guy who has the same hair that he had in Battlefield Earth. So the trailer is at least subconsciously trying to get you to make that connection.
Is Battlefield
is
Earth
that something-
also a Star Wars story?
I think
Is
it
that-
might be.
what will you become?
I really think the editor was just like, hey guys, Hunger Games? Hear me out. Star Wars. Remember how much we all like Katniss? Other young white women?
Katniss.
Here's a Star Wars one.
A space bow and arrow would be badass. Are we excited?
I'm excited. So this is
Very
going to be the
much so.
first Star Wars movie that's not about the Skywalkers.
Right, where the main character is not a
And
Jedi.
there's no Jedi.
Yeah.
Ideally.
There's been some chatter where people are like, is she related? Is she a Skywalker? And there's been some blowback to that. Well, just because like she's a lady doesn't mean that she has to
All
be.
women aren't related, you know.
In their defense, there are 4 women in the Star Wars universe, and they're all f***ing related to each other.
Presumably other interesting things are happening in space.
And they've announced a couple, like the Han Solo one, which nobody's really that jazzed about. But like there could potentially be Obi-Wan stuff. Or like maybe a Boba Fett movie, that'd be rad. Disney is just, it's settling into we're gonna give you all of everything.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna force feed you all the superhero movies until you choke to death on them.
I did get to the point where I'm like, I guess I'm gonna watch this. And then it started and I was immediately like,
Yes.
Since the only blockbusters coming out now are Star Wars and superhero movies,
Right.
we may as well have a Star Wars movie that's secretly a spy movie with no
Right.
space magic.
Because that worked for Captain America.
and
right?
that would explain why they stole the first half of the trailer from James Bond.
There's actually a graph showing that the most successful superhero movies aren't just superhero movies. They're superhero movies that combine themselves with other genres. So that's what they're gonna do with Star Wars. Ideally, if they're smart, Disney.
That'd be
listen,
sweet. Like you could
where
do
everything is just, we're gonna have a Star Wars romantic comedy. We're gonna have a Star Wars coming of age tale.
a Star Wars
We're
like
gonna have a
crime thriller. Or
Heat,
John
but in
Grisham.
Star Wars, John Wick, but Star Wars. What if they did a prequel trilogy about Obi-Wan and like we find out what he was doing before Star Wars?
They did that.
Did that happen?
That happened.
How did it turn out?
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching whatever that video was. We hope you enjoyed it. We here at Cracked have been nominated for 2 Webby Awards. Best Humor Website and Online Video Channel, which you are watching right now. So if you could go to the links in the description and vote for us both times, that would be amazing. We have until April 21st. Do it now. Thank you! USA! USA!